The MMO scene has been shifting over the last few years. Only the truly ambitious and different titles are able to brave an industry ready to scuttle those who are unable to stay afloat. It's my view that without offering tried and tested gameplay, or something unique by playing to specific strengths, the old subscription-based theme park MMO has run its course. New and exciting experiences are what players want because static worlds with loot grinds at the end of them have not only been done before, but have been finely tuned. It's why I've been keeping a close eye on things like EverQuest Next and Landmark, although recent events have me worried, but that's another story. But they're at least attempting to do something new in terms of its Storybrick system. However, at the end of 2014, a new project emerged from the shadows, headed by industry veterans J. Todd Coleman and Gordon Walton. At the start of the year, we found out its name, Crowfall, and over the last few months, ArtCraft Entertainment has been slowly dropping bits of information, giving us a bit of a sense of what Crowfall is and how it will do things differently. There's plenty of info to go through, but with its Kickstarter campaign now in full swing, we have the whole picture in front of us for the first time. With that in mind, I've gone through all the available information, and I'm going to summarise what Crowfall is about before discussing exactly why you should be paying attention to it, regardless of whether you are tempted to back it or not. So, what is Crowfall? Described as a War Throne simulator, Crowfall is a mix of strategy and MMORPG gameplay. While there will be PvE elements to it, the main aspect of the game is that of PvP dominance, as players take sides in a battle for ultimate glory. However, unlike other games that have similar modes, Crowfall's campaigns do not last forever. Instead, there are victory conditions and/or a time limit, ensuring that the board resets once the game is over, much like it would in Risk or Civilization. You may be asking yourself, well, if the board resets, how can you measure progress when the game is over? The answer to that is through persistent character progression and rewards for completing the campaign, regardless of the outcome. This way, veteran players can feel like they are making progress, and newcomers have the opportunity to make a name for themselves once a new campaign begins. ArtCraft call this concept Eternal Heroes, Dying Worlds. This allows for two important things. Firstly, the maps for each campaign will be different thanks to procedural generation, allowing for new experiences each time. Secondly, seeing as the maps will be removed forever once the campaign is over, the entire world is made up of destroyable voxels. The best comparison would be Landmark, which uses the same voxel farm technology that Crowfall will be using. But that isn't the only interesting aspect about the game engine. It has been stated that everything in Crowfall will have a mass, affecting gravity and where it can fit into the world. This also includes the players, meaning that a well-coordinated defence, or trap, could effectively block an opposing player from reaching certain positions. Admittedly, in the case of voxel-based destruction, they could always make a tunnel to get out, or if they have a powerful enough character, just charge through the lines. While the campaign worlds will eventually die, that isn't to say that there won't be a permanent place to call your own. The Eternal Kingdoms will allow players to build up their own kingdoms using resources found during campaigns, as the Eternal Kingdoms are void of them. It is here that players will be able to show off things like trophies, but they will also be able to rule over vast area of land, setting PvP rules and tax rates within them. There's also the chance for politics and betrayal, meaning the opportunities to make it all very Game of Thrones are very real. The final main aspect of the game to know about is character creation. While players will select an archetype to begin with, they will be able to tailor their characters with advantages at the cost of disadvantages. So for example, to gain the Eagle Eyes perk, which improves the ability to fire with a bow, you might have to select something that lowers endurance, or possibly another that increases your hunger rate. Beyond that, each archetype will be able to specialise in 3 different ways to gain more abilities. So in the case of the Knight, they could become a swordsman for tank-like abilities, a crusader to focus on melee damage, or a sentinel for ranged abilities. That's Crowfall in a nutshell, and for more information I would strongly suggest heading over to the extensive FAQ section over on the official website. It covers topics such as economy and how crafters will matter. It gives examples of the sort of power struggles that players will be expected to come across, and it also goes over the server rule sets and loot dropping upon death. It's those sort of things that make it quite clear that in a lot of ways this is a game that is being aimed at the hardcore audience, those looking for an experience where the thrill of that initial rush always comes around again, yet there's enough variation and strategic opportunities to allow for different outcomes in different campaigns. For me personally, this is probably the closest I'm ever going to get to my dream MMO. An online experience where battles will be fought, where no tyrant or benevolent ruler will ever be on top forever, and where unique stories will unfold that are entirely player-driven. Of course, without knowing how the gameplay handles, we can't know for sure if it's going to be any fun, but I absolutely have faith in this project. For starters, the calibre of the team is almost second to none, with ArtCraft founder Walden and Coleman being responsible for some of the MMO genre's defining titles. On top of this, names such as Raf Costa, who literally wrote the book on online game design, are going to be helping out with the development, and that assures me that, given the chance, the team at ArtCraft could deliver an enjoyable online experience that has the capacity to be deep, challenging, and rewarding. Of course, only time will tell if Crowfall reaches its crowdfunding total of $800,000. With over $250,000 pledged in under 4 hours, and the current total being over $350,000, it's a great start, and I certainly hope it reaches its target. That said, the team have stated that should the Kickstarter fail, they will be seeking private funding, but they've also admitted that doing so will most likely compromise their vision for the game. But you know what? Regardless of the outcome, I will be continuing to keep a very close eye on how Crowfall progresses. Right, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't done already, be sure to hit subscribe to stay up to date with our videos as they are published. That's it. I will see you next time. Bye bye.